All right, today we're diving into something that sounds, well, almost too simple to be true. It's a practice called grounding. And the idea behind it is that one of the most powerful health tools we have is, and I mean this literally, right underneath our feet.
I love this quote, your body is asking, where did the earth go? It really just cuts right to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? The whole theory is that our modern life, with our rubber-soled shoes, our insulated homes, has basically cut a wire. It's severed this vital electrical connection to the planet that our bodies might have depended on for, well, millions of years.
So here's the unbelievable claim. It's that this simple act of just touching the earth with your bare skin, walking on grass or sand or soil, can have these profound, actually measurable health benefits. I know, it's a huge statement. So let's really dig in and see what that's all about.
So what are we really talking about here? Well, at its core, grounding, some people call it earthing, is all about physics. The basic idea is that when you make that direct contact with the ground, something really specific happens. Free electrons from the earth literally flow into your body. That's it. That's the central mechanism we're going to explore.
Okay, look, let's just put it on the table. When you hear phrases like Earth's energy, your pseudoscience detector probably starts going off, right? And you're absolutely right to be skeptical. But, and this is a big but, what's so fascinating here is that there's emerging research that shows actual, tangible, physiological effects. So let's do what we do and really dig into the evidence. Now, to really get a grip on the science, we've got to take a step back, way back. The entire argument for grounding is built on this idea of an evolutionary mismatch. Think of it like this. Our bodies are hardware designed for one operating system, the natural world, and we're trying to run it on completely different modern software. This timeline, wow, it really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? For nearly all of human history, we were grounded, all the time. The rubber-soled shoe, that's a blip on the radar, a super recent invention in the grand scheme of things. It really makes you wonder, what did we lose? What changed in our biology when we put on those shoes and moved inside for good? So this whole thing depends on free electrons. But where do they even come from? Well, it's actually some pretty cool and surprisingly simple atmospheric physics. The Earth itself holds a massive negative charge. You can think of it like a giant planetary-sized battery that's being constantly recharged by thousands of lightning strikes every single second. This means there's a practically endless supply of these electrons available right at the surface. And that brings us to the actual research. Look, the field is still pretty new, but what's really turning heads is that a bunch of these early studies are showing these remarkably consistent patterns. When people are grounded, we see reports of less inflammation, better sleep and more normal cortisol rhythms, reduced pain, even faster muscle recovery, and better blood flow. It's that consistency across different studies that's making scientists sit up and say, okay, maybe there's something to this. All right, so if these effects are even partially real, the big question is, how on earth could this be happening? And yeah, pun totally intended. I mean, it just seems too simple, right? Just touching the ground? So let's get into the plausible mechanisms, the leading theories for how this could actually work. This comparison here really nails the core concept. Think of an insulated body, that's most of us, most of the time, as being electrically floating. It's unstable, accumulating positive charge from things like free radicals. But a grounded body, it's like plugging into a massive surge protector. It connects to the Earth's huge reserve of negative electrons, and that helps stabilize its entire internal electrical environment. Okay, so scientists have landed on two main theories here. Theory number one is the antioxidant effect. The idea is that these free electrons coming from the Earth are like little antioxidant ninjas. They get into your body and neutralize those nasty, positively charged free radicals that are famous for causing inflammation and oxidative stress. Theory number two is electrical stabilization. This one suggests that by connecting to the Earth's stable electrical field, you're essentially shielding your body from all the low-level electromagnetic noise in our modern world, which could have a huge calming effect on the nervous system. Now, we absolutely have to do a scientific reality check here. It's super important to be clear. The research is promising, yes, but it is not definitive. We're talking about an emerging field. A lot of the studies have small sample sizes. Some are even funded by companies that sell grounding products, so you have to consider that. And the honest truth is, the precise mechanisms are not fully nailed down yet. We definitely need more, bigger, and totally independent research. But here's the really cool part. While the scientists do their thing in the lab, you can become your own scientist, because the risk of trying this for yourself is, well, zero. And the cost? Also zero. You don't have to wait to be convinced by a peer-reviewed paper. You can literally just run your own little experiment starting today. So how do you actually do this? It's super simple. You're looking for conductive surfaces. Think grass, dirt, sand, even unsealed concrete or rock. Those let the electrons flow. What you want to avoid are the insulators. That's stuff like asphalt, wood, vinyl, and of course, the plastic and rubber on the bottom of your shoes. Those things block the connection completely.
If you really want to see if this works for you, here's a little 30-day challenge. It's easy. First, set a baseline for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, just rate your sleep quality, any pain you have, and your general energy levels. Then, for the next 30 days, try to spend just 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, and maybe again in the evening, with your bare feet on the ground. Walk on some grass, sit in the dirt, whatever works. After a month, go back to your notes and compare. See if anything shifted.
And you know, maybe there's something more going on here than just electrons in physics. This quote gets at that deeper level. When you walk barefoot, you're not just reducing inflammation, you're remembering your place in the web of life. It frames grounding not just as a health hack, but as a way of remembering, of physically reconnecting to the natural world that we are at our core a part of.
So that leaves us with this one fascinating question. In our crazy, complex world full of high-tech biohacks and advanced medical treatments, could it be that one of the simplest, most powerful, and most accessible solutions to feeling better has been right beneath our feet this whole time? I guess there's really only one way to find out for yourself. Time to take off your shoes.